Hello everyone, it's Diane. I have a couple of journals, as you can see, to share with you today. But first, I want to mention another YouTube channel. If you saw the video I did with my granddaughter Layla, where she was showing the book we made, and she stamped in it and drew in it and put stickers in it, and she had such fun showing that book. Well, an artist saw that video, and he said that he wanted to draw something for Layla, whatever she wanted. So she said that she wanted a cat. So he drew a cat for her, and there's a video of him drawing the cat. And his YouTube channel is Boss Art Drawing, and this is how it is spelled, how it's all laid out: capital B, capital ART, and there are no spaces. Boss Art Drawing. He's trying to get 300 subscribers. So I subscribed, and I told him I would ask my viewers to go check him out. So I will put a link below so you can go check him out. The video of him drawing the little cat is pretty short. It's about 5 minutes, I think. And of course, he has a lot of other videos where he does drawing, so I thought it was fun. So just a shout out to another YouTuber. Another thing I wanted to mention about these books is this book I had almost completed. All I had to do was sew the signatures in and decorate the cover and stuff like that. It was a custom order, and it's been done since early June, but my customer isn't responding to me. I hope she's okay, but she's not responding. She had purchased one of my domestic arts journals, not whenever I did those, so that wasn't too long before I had this done. So, you know, I communicated with her then, but I haven't heard from her since. So anyway, long story short, too late. I'm going to put this in my shop, and then I went ahead and finished this one, which is a companion to this. They're laid out the same. So these will both be in my shop by the time this video is up, and if my customer does get in contact with me, well, I'll just have to make another one for her. So let me just go through them for you. This is The Little Old Portrait, is the name of the book, and I just put this decorative burgundy lace. It matches the scroll work here. This lace I carry in my shop, along with many other colors of this lace. Someone sent me this beautiful black butterfly, and I thought it looked really nice there, and then I just put this lace over the name of the author. And I need to tell you that I used alcohol ink to color my eyelets for both books, because all I have in the big size is silver and pink. So, you know, alcohol ink doesn't come out of your hands very easily. There's the spine. I didn't want to cover it up. I did really straight stitches this time. And there's the Uniquely Handmade. I might put something there to decorate it. It looks a little plain, but we'll see. There's some lace tied through the eyelets. 3 signatures. I don't know how many pages. I'll put that in the description on the listing. So this is just glued down. It's not a pocket or anything, but it's a space where you can write your name and date and all that stuff. There's just a little collage here of some little spots you can write on. This is the graph paper that I coffee dyed. It's fabric tab. This is a piece of vellum that I printed on. I love the way that turned out. And then this is Christy Art Design image that I stitched coffee dyed paper. This is a digital that was a copy of wallpaper, vintage wallpaper, and I just think it's beautiful. So I printed it a little bit smaller, and it's a page in the book. I stenciled on this side. There's a fabric flip with a collage and some vintage trim up here. Coffee dyed tissue paper. Here's a book page, and I used the Tim Holtz stitched slots die, and I put in a vintage ticket, a little, well, and all the rest of these are stamped images. A little tag you can write on. And there's a spot for writing. This is a pocket I made with vintage book page and decorated it. This is beautiful, beautiful lace. I love that lace. And Tim Holtz piece, and just some snips of lace there. Christy Art Design image again with a piece of ribbon. I don't know if you can hear thunder, but did I say it's about 100 degrees here today? So I'm hoping that if it rains, it's going to help. It's been really hot the last 3 days. But I've had my air conditioning on for a while in the craft room here. I had to turn it off to do the video. So I'm going to try to do the video a little bit quick because it gets awful hot in here. I love this crochet trim from Hobby Lobby. There's a stamp. More stamping. Piece of ledger that I copy dyed. Little hearts on the strings. This is a piece of manila file folder that I stamped and painted. And then this is a scrap of ombre colored cardstock, and I fussy cut this image out. I think it was a printable. Might have been a printable from Pinterest, I don't remember, but I fussy cut it and glued it on there, and you can journal on the back. Here's a flip with some pretty lace. I still have some of this lace with the yellow in my shop. Don't you love that blue fingernail? Tim Holtz and cheesecloth ephemera, botanical ephemera. And this, I think, is Tsunami Rose. It was a long piece, and you're supposed to fold it and glue it together, so you can write on the back. This is just a scrap of something I don't remember. This might have been a Tsunami Rose sheet of things, and I had cut it apart, and I just put this part on as a pocket, and there's a playing card with butterflies on it. There's that beautiful blue lace again, and some fabric. The other side of that, wallpaper digital. Here's a little doily with a doily stitched on the front, and a decoupaged tag. It's got book page and napkin on it. Seam binding. There's an image that I stitched onto some cardstock and stitched it on as a pocket, and this is embossed with gold embossing powder. A while ago I did a video showing how I did the embossing on these tags. There's one with pink embossing powder. This is airline paper that I copy dyed. There's can you hear that thunder? That was a loud one. The corner of a handkerchief and a little piece of doily, a vintage, gorgeous, gorgeous vintage postcard, 1911. If I forget to say it, I did not put a vintage postcard like this in the other book, but I intend to. Here's another piece of the wallpaper digital. This is a fabric scrap up here. This is a printable that I printed out onto tissue paper. My daughter's texting me. Another book page here with something to journal on. Pocket made out of book page, and it's got some scrapbook paper and one of those muslin Michaels tags, crochet trim, and a printable. Another manila folder stamped. I really like these journals. This is, I think I fussy cut this one too. And some of the rosettes, and a little scrap of fabric and Tiffany and Company card in there. A little glassine bag with decoupage on it, a little tag. I love that fabric. That was in one of the fabric bundles that I did. The alterations tags are in my shop too. This is a collage. This is Christy Art Designs. This is a stamp. I can't remember where these came from. And that is, I think, Tsunami Rose. But I glued them all together and then stitched it here and here so that it is a pocket. This was something I printed from Pinterest probably. And it just tucks in there. This is a printable that somebody sent me, and I forgot who. When I made a purchase from her shop, she sent me some free book cover printables, and I think they're gorgeous. So this is stitched to cardstock, and then there's a tag in there. This is the, I can't remember what color this was, but I think it's burgundy with a little bit of gold in it. So pretty. Another handkerchief with some ribbon stitched to the top and another manila folder stamped. Wallpaper, digital. A fabric flip with some vintage trim. This is a vellum piece that I bought at Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. Book page. There's a little tuck spot in here with a tag. I organized my printables that I had printed, and a lot of them were cut out, and they were just in a drawer that was supposed to be organized, but it was a mess. So I got them organized, and I used a lot of them in these two books because now I knew where to find things, and made me so happy. There's some navy blue. I think that might have a little bit of gold in it too. This is another piece of trim that I carry in my shop. There's a fabric flip. This is a double pocket here. Another piece of manila folder with a painted stamped lady. I love this. I don't even know where I got it. I'm gonna have to go. This might have been from Pinterest, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go into my downloads in my laptop and find it again. Fabric with collage and lace. Graph paper. Another piece of vellum that I printed on with a few little tags stuck in there. This is, I'm pretty sure this is Ephemera's Vintage Garden freebie. A little scrap that I stitched to coffee dyed paper and a playing card. And another manila folder pocket. It's got my signature on the card. So this one is called The Little Old Portrait. This one is called Zenobia's Suitors. I may put a different, something different through the eyelets. I'm not real happy with this ribbon. Doesn't stay tight enough. But I put this really vintage lace. It's green and cream, and I love it. I don't have a lot of it. Can you see the green? I don't have a lot of it, so this is the first time I've used it. And it just complements this book very well, so I don't mind using it. And there's a little metal piece there. Fabric on the spine because it was quite worn. There were little holes in the spine, but I did reinforce with Tyvek. The back of the book is dirty. There are stains, and I cleaned it with baby wipes. So the surface dirt is gone, but the little stains just show how vintage the book is. And I put glossy accents on this. That was a lot of glossy accents. I have to do a little spot here that I missed, but I'm going to do that after I'm done with the video and let it dry. And there are some air bubbles, which I tried to get out with a pin like you're supposed to, but it wasn't working, so I just made sure there weren't any on her face. And that was, I liked that. I didn't go ahead and do it on this one just because it did take up a lot of the glossy accents and because of the air bubbles, but I really like the way it turned out. And here's the inside. This book belongs to, and I did something a little bit different on the inside this time. I just put a strip of muslin, coffee dyed muslin here, and let the ends hang off so you can see it. on the outside of the book. There's another of those printables that was given to me free. This is black embossing powder. So this, I'll go through this quicker because it's pretty much the same layout. This is a handkerchief again, a corner of a handkerchief, and this is a page out of a botanical book that I have. I think I'm going to sell some botanical pages in my shop from a couple different books. Eventually, when I get time to do it. Wallpaper digital again. This is a page from that new, well, it's a vintage book, but I showed it in a video from my flea market haul, The Field Guide to Antique American Furniture. So each signature has a page from that book. Here, I forgot to remove this card when I stitched this flip on, and the card ended up getting stitched into the bottom of the page, so I had to tear it, and then I glued washi tape to it to cover that up. But it's glued down, so it's not going anywhere. This is an eyelet that had this wide band on it, and I stitched a piece of gold ribbon. Some little snippets here, and this is a smaller version of the wallpaper digital, and I just turned it into a little booklet. I stamped on the inside to make it look like end papers, and then there's just some coffee dyed paper in there. Ledger paper. A stamped manila folder. I think these are, well, I know this is Ephemera's Vintage Garden. I'm not sure about this. Vellum again, with a few tags in there. This is from Tsunami Rose. I glued it on as a tuck spot, and there's this ticket that I stitched to coffee dyed paper, and a playing card. This is a tag that I made a long time ago, and I thought this journal was perfect. It looked nice on this page. It's got a little metal buckle here, or slide I guess, and a little metal corner, and it's got music paper. And there's part of an appointment book on the back. This is a leftover printable from when I made the Jane Austen books a couple of years ago. So I got that used. This is the vintage paper I got at the estate sale. It's got the lines on it, the funny lines. Handkerchief. And then this is from a doily sewn to the middle and embossed tag. This is a piece of chenille that I got in that little bundle from Selena at Amour Fabriques. So because this cover is green, I found a green piece of a chenille and stuck it in here with some trim and some muslin. I like the way that looks. You can flip it up so you can write on, you know, you can't write on this because it's, you know, cushiony back here, but you can just flip that up and then you can write on it. There's the Field Guide to Furniture with some washi tape on it. This is a Tsunami Rose, part of a calendar printable, and this is Tsunami Rose printable that I coffee dyed. Just stuck it in here. It's nice to use up some of those printables that have been just stuck in that drawer. This is a stamp up here. All of these are stamps. A little flip made with coffee dyed paper. A little piece of trim, a little tag, and a little piece of baker's twine. A little tag here that says select all that apply, and this is Sari Silk. Another of the Tim Holtz dies with some pieces stuck in. This is part of that Simplicity wrapping paper. And this is a stamped piece. The others were cutouts from printables. Flip. The other side of that Jane Austen paper, and there's a printable here and a printable here that I actually fussy cut. That was work. And a couple of little tags. I like the way this looks on this blue paper, even though there's no blue in this. It just complements it, I think. Embossed tag. This is the little piece of trim that I just got at the farmer's market or the flea market, and it was a little tiny roll, and when I took off enough to put here, all that's left is this much. So it was just a little snippet of lace, but this is a gorgeous handkerchief. I wanted something that would have the crochet hanging off like this one has. This is a card from Masterpiece Game with a painting on it. Whoops. This is actually from that wallpaper printable, but this is probably the directions that were printed on the back of the wallpaper. A flip here, little crocheted doily piece. This is a piece of the Tim Holtz wallpaper. These things that are supposed to feel like wallpaper. I love them. So that's the first time I used one. Just use that little tiny bit, but this is real wallpaper right here, vintage wallpaper. Another pocket made with book page. This is a printable postcard. I like the way that turned out with the stamping on that manila folder. This is a stamp that I have, and it's got a little space here for a tuck, so I put in this little cat. I don't even remember where I got that. I don't remember if it came in a journal or in a set of you know, Happy Mail, but it fits in there nicely, and there's a little tag here too. This could be a tuck if you wanted it to be. And here's the collage. I stitched these together, and you can just tuck these pieces right in there. And the back pocket. And there we have it. So we have Zenobia Suitors and the little old portrait, which I will be putting in my shop while this video uploads. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.